Hi guys, welcome to my channel Amie Howard Art. I'm Amie and today I have an art advice video for you. So today's topic is going to be dealing with negative comments on your art. So if you're posting your art online or in a social forum, you can kind of expect to experience some kind of negative feedback at some point or another. And a lot of people say that you should develop a thick skin if you're going to post online, or if you're easily offended, then you perhaps shouldn't be posting online at all. So what can you do to help in this situation? I'm going to give you my 5 tips for dealing with those negative comments on your artwork. So my first tip, and this one might seem a little bit obvious, is to ignore the comments. Now this can be extremely hard to do, especially for us artists, as a lot of us are emotionally connected with the artwork that we create. So having someone comment something bad on your artwork and then just sort of brushing it off and ignoring it can be a little bit difficult to do. And it can be especially hard if the comments that you're receiving are quite personal to yourself. But the best thing to do is actually ignore those comments, because fire only feeds fire. And if you respond to that comment, then you are just sort of giving that commenter what they wanted. They wanted to ignite a reaction from you. So sometimes ignoring the comment is the best way to sort of deal with it. It sort of quells the situation, and it leaves that commenter feeling as if they haven't really affected you. So ignoring comments is a really good one. You can also remove the post or comments, especially if it's on a public forum which you own. So if it's on Instagram, if it's on Twitter or Facebook, and they're commenting on your profile or page, you can actually remove those comments and just deal with it that way, as if they sort of never even existed. That's a really good way to deal with it as well. Sometimes I get some negative feedback, and if it's particularly nasty or not very sort of constructive, then I just tend to remove it because there's no need for it. And I'm not going to just sort of waste my time by replying to that 1 or 2 bad comments. You should also just try not to dwell on those bad comments, just sort of brush them aside, just don't even acknowledge them. That's really the best way to deal with those comments. So if you can't do the first tip, then this second one might be for you, and that is to let your fans respond for you. Let your fans sort of support and uplift you. So if you are posting on social media, especially if it's your own page, then you are going to have some kind of fan base, whether it's small or large. That fan base is going to help you out. And in my experience, fans will often see the comment before you and sort of run to your aid before you've even had a chance to acknowledge any of those comments. What you have to be careful with this though is that your fans and yourself do keep it civil, so you don't really want to fire back negative comments at that commenter. You just kind of want to be a little bit constructive, just be civil, don't sort of lower yourself to the initial commenter's level. You don't really want to fight trolls by being trolls yourself, so just remember to keep it civil, keep it sort of light-hearted, and just sort of let your fan base uplift you, and that should help you overcome that bad comment. My third tip is to wait a day or 2 before you actually respond. So sometimes when you initially see a bad comment, particularly if it's a really bad one, what you want to do is just immediately get on the keyboard and just write back a mean reply. And sometimes it's best to just wait a day or 2, just let yourself calm down, just collect your thoughts, and then after a day or 2 has elapsed, then look back at that comment and see whether it is actually worth replying to and worth sort of spending some time over. So just taking that day or 2, you can sort of craft a really intelligent and really civil reply. You can spend a long time developing an argument to it, rather than just sort of getting straight on your keyboard and then maybe even starting an argument within your comments. So just taking that time to step back and just think to yourself, is this really worth my time, and is it really worth a response? My 4th tip is to evaluate where that comment is coming from. So sometimes when people leave comments, it is actually constructive and it's not necessarily meant in a mean way, but the way that they have typed it and sort of worded it comes across a little bit aggressive or a little bit mean. So you need to sort of really read the comments and sort of evaluate where they're coming from. So you need to evaluate whether it is actually meant as helpful advice, whether it's meant as constructive criticism, and whether it is just particularly badly worded and not meant to come across the way that it has. This kind of goes along with step number 3 with waiting before you apply, just taking that time to just sort of understand whether it is just a genuine troll or whether it is help in the form of a misunderstood comment. So my last tip for you guys, and this is probably the best one which you can do along with number 1, and that is to read all of your good positive comments. Now this is something that I love doing. I often go through my social media and I read through my comments and I look at all of the really good comments from my followers, and I find that it's really inspiring. And if I do have a bad comment, I just go back and I read through some of the good comments, because more often than not your good comments are going to outweigh the bad ones. In my experience, you often get one bad comment and then you get about 20 good comments. So try not to dwell on that one bad comment, because you've got 20 other good comments to read back on. So try not to take it personally. If you've got one bad comment and all those good comments, it's not a reflection on your artwork, because you've got all of those good comments. So that one bad comment is, you can just sort of ignore it, because it doesn't matter, because you've got all of those good comments, you've got all of those supporters, all of those people uplifting you. So try not to take it personally and try not to take it as an attack on your artwork. You also need to remember as well, when you are reading back your comments, that everybody has a personal preference. What somebody likes isn't going to be the same as what somebody else likes. So everybody does have differences of opinions, and you need to just remember that when you are reading back comments. So perhaps someone that did leave you a bad comment, perhaps your art style just isn't to their taste. And that's not a personal attack on you or your art, it is just their opinion of that particular art piece that you have created. So a really good exercise that I have found that helps to refocus you and inspire you and just get you out of that sort of dull mood that negative comments may have left you in, is to write down your good comments. So have a look back through all of your posts and write down those really epic comments, the ones that really made you smile, the ones that really touched you. Write them down, whether that's with a pen and paper in a notebook, whether you're going to type them out and print them out, or maybe even create some artwork, some calligraphy or something out of them. Write them down and pin them to the wall in front of you where you work. And then when you are feeling down, when you do receive a bad comment, you can look up at them and you can feel inspired. You can know that there are people out there who do love your work and do love what you do and follow you for a reason. So I find that exercise really good to do. It's also really nice to just read back through some of your comments as well, and especially if you are pinning them to the wall in front of you, just looking at them every day is going to help inspire you to create really epic art as well. So those are my 5 tips for dealing with negative comments on your art. Now when you do receive negative comments, you need to remember sort of where they are coming from. You need to remember that everybody does have a different opinion and you need to respect each other's different opinions. And you also need to remember that if you are posting online, then you are going to receive some kind of negative, bad comments at some point or another. It is inevitable. It's the thing that goes on with social media. There are keyboard warriors. There are always people that are going to put other people down. So you just need to keep that in mind and try not to take it as a personal attack or a personal attack on your artwork, because more often than not, it's not. It's most often just coming out of jealousy. That is the case with a lot of comments. People are just jealous and they just want to put you down and try and break you, but just try not to let it affect you. Use these tips which I've given you to try and help overcome that. So I really hope that this video has helped you. If you ever stumble upon some bad comments, I hope that you can remember this video or reference back to it, and I hope that this can help you overcome some sort of bad times from those bad comments. If you have any other ways that you feel are really good at dealing with those negative comments, then pop them in the comments below and let's have a little discussion. As always, thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. And if you're new around here and you like this video and want to see more along with tutorials, then make sure you hit that subscribe button. And there are some more videos for you to watch just over there. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!